guys, it's Alex from Mono. How's everyone doing? Good, I hope. Today I wanted to bring you 10 white musk fragrances. So before I start, I want to just have a quick chat about musk. A lot of the people that I spoke to when I worked in the fragrance industry, a lot of people would say, I really like musky fragrances. And then when I started suggesting things or discussing what it is, a lot of people didn't really know what it was. I think what a lot of people think when they say they like musky fragrances is that they like dusky, like a texture. That's how it is in my brain. So musk can go one of two ways. You have the stuff we're going to talk about today, which is white musk, the synthetically produced, lab produced musk that isn't real, and it's the type of musk that's used in a lot of laundry detergents. It's the clean, fluffy, white, second skin, floaty, pale, pastel, airy type musk that people are obsessed with, because a lot of people like to smell clean and some people don't really like offensive perfume. So white musk exists for those types of people. If you like things a little bit more laid back, a little bit more dainty, a little bit more approachable. The other way it can go is a dark musk, and this is musks that come from, well, used to come from animals. So things like civet, castoreum, hyraceum, all things like that. They've got deer musk as well. All of them now are synthetically reproduced. It's not really cool to use dark musks anymore, real ones. So today we're going to talk about the former. Okay, I almost said latter. Anyway, without further ado, here are 10 musks, white musks, that I have discovered. So the first one on the list, I have to kick off the list with this one because to me it's the one that started it all. If you, like me, were a teenager in the 90s, you probably would have smelled this on somebody, somewhere, at some point. It is Body Shop, and it's just called White Musk. This perfume is one of the most long-standing perfumes that they sell, and it's a really good example to start the list off with because it is that soft, I think it's very feminine, clean, laundry type, kind of inviting. It's kind of like white t-shirt and jeans kind of fragrance. Really easygoing, kind of versatile, I think. I would smell this on women when I was a kid, on nights out, even when I used to go out with my mum to places, I would smell women wearing it. It's the one. It's the white musk for me. I know there are tons, there are probably tons before that one came out as well, but this is the one they used to sell in these little tiny plastic bottles that were, it was an oil form, and it was just so powerful. I mean, white musk is a very gentle smell in its actual tonality, but the white musk oil used to just project so far. You could smell somebody that was wearing it. It's got a nice little bit of crispness, a little bit of sweetness, but this is a really good laundry type, soft, feathery, fluffy white musk to start with. So I had to put it on the list. The next one on the list is one I reviewed fairly recently actually, and it's by Narciso Rodruigez, and it's called Pure Musk. This one is another one, it's kind of in the same league as the Body Shop White Musk, but it feels a little bit more modern. It's cleaner, it's a tiny bit sharper, but at the same time it's also very soft. This one's really fluffy, it's very sweet, Narciso Rodruigez knows how to play with musk. It's kind of his signature, and it's in most of his perfumes. It's kind of what he centers everything around. And this one, while very simple, I think is one of the most elegant ones on the list. It lasts a really long time. You just smell like a clean person when you wear it. I've still got my 10ml that one of my friends gave me, and I wear it when I want to just feel relaxed. It's a very calming musk, this one. Comparing it to the Body Shop one, the Body Shop one is a bit thicker. This one is much lighter, but still has that fluffy towels kind of feeling. So that's a really nice one too. Check it out if you can. The next one is one that I'm actually going to review soon after this video, and it's by a company called Glossier or Glossier. They're a makeup brand that is really popular among millennials. I think they're quite an affordable brand, but they have a fragrance and it's just called You. Now, this one is one of those things, because they've used a molecule in it, which is ambroxan. They market it as, it smells like you but better. It's gonna work with your pheromones and it's gonna mold itself to your personality type and all of that stuff. And anytime there's a molecule involved and it's the main star of a show, brands always come out with this gumph, and sometimes I think it's just really silly. But anyway, this one is centered around ambroxan. It's very simple. It's ambroxan, it's iris or orris root as well, and it's kind of peppery as well. I did, when I first smell it, thought that I was smelling iso-e super, which is another molecule that's quite woody. But ambroxan is a silvery, slightly metallic-y, musky molecule. This one doesn't have that laundry fluff thing that the first two have. This one is much more transparent, it's woodier, it's a bit spicier, and it really fits its target audience. I'm going to probably repeat a lot of this in my review, but that's okay. Millennials do not want fussy perfumes. I know firsthand from speaking to a lot of them when I worked in the fragrance industry. How many times am I going to say that? They want simplicity, they want clean, they want just spray on and go, and this perfume fits that. So it's an iris, it's an ambroxan, which is a musky woody, and then it's got a little bit of spice from pink pepper as well. So very simplistic, straight down the line, and smells kind of like a, you're not really wearing a perfume but you kind of are kind of smell. So that one is that one. On to the next. The next one is by Lush, and it's called Pansy. Now they don't list white musk as a note in this one, but to me it really smells like white musk. If you're familiar with Lush's product line called the Olive Branch, they have a shower gel, they have multiple things named the Olive Branch. They released a perfume called Pansy, and it's the same smell. So if you know the smell of the Olive Branch, you will know the smell of this perfume. This one's really interesting. It's got 4 or 5 citruses in it, yet it isn't overly citrusy, strangely enough. You've also got olive leaves, and I think olive oil as well. So this one is very heavy on the white musk, and it is that kind of clean, fluffy laundry musk, but it's got green tinges from olive leaf, and I really like this one. I have the body mist of it, shower gel, perfume, all that kind of stuff. Scent layering, you know, scent layering is great. We love it here at Ouch 110. So yeah, this one's quite powerful in the way it projects, it wafts really nicely, and it's just a nice twist to have something a bit green with a white musk, so that's why it's on the list. It is Pansy by Lush. The next one is one of my most recent reviews, and it's also the most recent fragrance to come from Zoologist, and it's called Koala. This one was a very unsuspecting fragrance. I did not expect it to have quite the dose of white musk in it that it does have, but it's really nice, this one. It's almost like an aromatic fougere. It's a little bit barbershop. There's a lot of eucalyptus in it at the beginning. It's got a bit of honey, but mainly, and it's got herbs as well, but mainly it's all centered around a really gorgeous, semi-masculine white musk. It's like something that you would smell in a barbershop in the 50s. It's clean, it's green, it's really light and airy, and the white musk really surprised me, so that's why it's on the list. Try out Koala by Zoologist. That rhymes. The next one's by the oldest, or one of the oldest fragrance houses that exist in London, and it's Floris. It's called White Rose, and it's one of the very few fragrances that I have smelled that actually has English roses in them, so that's a nice touch. I really like it. This one is really powdery. This one has got iris in there as well, I think, and obviously a whole bunch of white musk. This one's fluffy, it's a bit mumsy, it's a bit demure, it's very cozy, it's kind of like a spray on before you go to bed type smell. It's very soft. So the roses in it are powdery as well, the iris is powdery. It's a powder bomb with a really lovely, soft, clean, fluffy white musk. Kind of like what's in Body Shop's one and Narciso's one as well. So that's White Rose, and it's by Floris. The next one's a good old faithful for me. It's one that I owned and I do not anymore. When I used to work for the Walt Disney Company, one of my colleagues' girlfriends used to always meet him from work, and she always wore this one, and I would always say, what is it again? What is it again? What is it again? And it is Cerruti 1881. This one's lovely. This is a white musk in this one isn't really the star of the show, but it's definitely prominent. The star of the show here is multiple white flowers. You've got orange blossom, there's jasmine, one other one which I can't remember, but it's not anything too heady like tuberose. The flowers in here are super, this one's almost powder puffy. It's got white musk underneath, and then you've got a whole bunch of powdery florals over the top. Kind of in a similar style to Floris's White Rose, but it smells very different because This has got a multitude of white flowers, where that one is centered around roses. Kind of a given, it's in the name. But this one's so nice. At first it's a little bit intense, but the dry down of this perfume, I still can conjure the image of it up in my brain right now. I can almost smell it when I think about it, and I kind of want it back again in my collection. It's just really comforting. It's a relaxing white musk. The white florals are not aggressive. They're really tamed and toned down. And it's another one that feels a bit mumsy. It's like a hug from mum kind of smell to me. And I'll always like that one. It's a really, really good one. So it's really affordable as well. So check that out if you're into kind of vintage 80s powdery florals with a lot of white musk in them. Cerruti, 1881. The next one on the list is the wild card. It's the Joker, it's the tricky little trickster, and it's called Not a Perfume, and it's by Juliette Has A Gun. I've got a sample of this one, and I've tried it on a couple of times. This one is bending the rules slightly. This fragrance only has one ingredient, and it is Ceruti, which is used in more perfumes than you might actually realize. It's used in perfumes to give an ambery musky feel, but it also volumizes fragrances and makes them project, or maybe adds a little bit of longevity. A lot of perfumers use molecules now in small amounts to just enhance their perfume in different ways. And Ceruti is a musky, woody molecule. A lot of people say it's ambery. I don't get anything ambery from it. It's actually on my arm here. It's one of those, are you really wearing a scent sort of perfumes? This is for the people that are super hyper adverse to strong perfumes, because it's so simplistic that it's almost, I mean, it's not a perfume. There's no pyramid, there's no development, there's no anything really. This is why it's a wild card, but I like putting a little wild card on my 10 lists. If you know me by now, you will know that. To me, it's more woody, but this is a similar type of musky smell to the Glossier one, where it's really transparent. This is kind of sharp, this one. Really, really clean. There's no fluff here. There's no laundry. There's no comfort. This is more of a high pitch, high octane type of, I'm gonna call it a perfume, but it really isn't. It's just a singular molecule, like I said. So Ceruti, kind of similar to Ambroxan, and this is for the minimalist in you. If you're someone who likes surfaces and Japanese style, minimalist, nothing in your house, this might be a perfume for you. Test a sample out and see what you think. It's Not a Perfume by Juliette Has A Gun. The next one is really tricky for me to describe, but when I smelled this, I fell in love with it. I didn't really have a choice. The sales assistant that I was around at the time forced me to spray it, like he sprayed it on a card and made sure that I took it when I walked past. And I'm glad I did, because I absolutely fell in love. It's called Use Abuse, and it's by a company called Jusbox. Their bottles have little records on the top. They're all themed about music. This one is really nice. It smells very synthetic, and I know that's a really weird thing to say because lots of things smell synthetic, but the note list of this doesn't match up to how it smells. It lists things like tuberose and all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna have to check it out, 1 second. Okay, they say tuberose, sandalwood incense, sweet myrrh, jasmine, sambac, peony, and of course musk, which is why it's on this list. But this one doesn't smell like any of those things. It smells like musk, of course, which is why it's on here. But this, to me, smells almost like a sparkly aldehyde. Super open textured, really transparent again, really clean, and there's something a little bit metallic about it. This one is very hard to put into words, but if you're in a shop and you see the brand, try this one out, because this lingered on the card for way past 24 hours. I now have a 10 ml of it because a lovely friend of mine gave me it a long time ago, and when I wear it I feel clean, which is what white musk does. It's kind of why we're here. It's kind of what this chat's about, right? You get the gist. It's so funny, the birds are literally just watching me like hawks, or like parrots that they are. They're both standing on their perch just like this. But Use Abuse is really, really beautiful. There's something that I can't quite put my finger on. It's got a fizziness, it's super sparkly and musky, and if it was a colour, it would be silver. That's the only way I can describe it. And it's just really nice. So try it out if you ever see that brand in a shop. You might just find you like it, if you're a white musk lover. And finally, we have another abstract one. I have talked about this one on my channel. I have reviewed it. It's got a very long name, which I'll put across the bottom of the screen now because I'm not gonna embarrass myself by butchering the French language. I call it Hermann for short. It's by Etat, Libre. This one features ambroxan, which it's another tricky one. It is a musky molecule. It's the same molecule that is in the Glossier perfume at the beginning. This one is paired together with rose and incense. It's very metallic, it's very silvery, but the ambroxan in here makes it feel like a cold musk, not a laundry musk, not a fluffy, not a comforting, not a cozy, not a towel one. This is one of those icy, cold type musks. It feels silvery. It's got some pepper as well. Did I say rose? Yeah, there's rose in here as well. This one's really abstract. It's about shadows and your shadow having a smell. It's about a poem, I think, as well. Two horsemen riding through a forest. Untitled Chapter have some really weird stuff going on, but it's actually one of my favorites. It's another icy cold clean thing, but it adds in a bit of incense and rose in there. So that one is great, and I just really enjoy wearing it. It almost smells a little bit like turpentine to me. It's got an almost like kind of petrolly, terpenic, turpentine sort of smell, along with this ambroxan molecule. So that's why that one's on the list as well. So that's it. That is my list of 10 white musk fragrances. I've probably been inspired to do a dark musk fragrances one now, so that one will be probably coming up very soon. That's it. Hope you guys are staying safe. I'm Ouch 110, trying to make the world smell better, one video at a time. Speak to you guys soon. Goodbye.